Okay, Mom. Welcome, everyone.
Guess who's back?
Back again.
Yeah.
Our first guest, guys. Da-da-da, drum roll.
I'll drum roll myself.
So, welcome everyone. Actually, before we do a dive into the episode, we really want to welcome all of our new followers, all of our OG followers, and we really, really appreciate all of the love, feedback, and comments we've been getting. Please remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, linked below.
Just to support you guys.
Yeah. Wait, you gotta be subscribed
Of
to the
course.
channel.
I was the first one. I was the first one, guys. Don't worry.
He's an OG. And if you're listening on Spotify, please give us a 5-star review. We'd really appreciate it. And follow us on Spotify. And follow us on our socials. We're on TikTok and Instagram. And the family is growing.
The family has been growing for a while.
Exponentially.
I know. Thank you all for the love and support. Let's get started.
So, we have our first guest.
Very exciting.
And the way we wanted to proceed with when we had guests on the episode is that we really, really wanted to give a nice introduction to who we have on the show. And we will give you the platform as well to be able to speak on who you are, your journey, why you're here. And then we will do a deep dive, as usual, into some certain fun discussions and segments. So, welcome everyone to a very special episode of Okay, Mom.
Hey, Mom.
Okay, Mom.
Before we begin the episode, Hina and I would like to just share our deepest gratitude for our growing audience and for our guest on the show. Welcome. We love the engagement on all of our social media platforms, and because of the kinds of people that we have that we understand are watching the show, listening to the show, a lot of you have said we need a male perspective on the show, and hence this is our first
We
guest.
heard you. We heard you loud and clear.
Loud and
Loud
clear.
and clear.
I'm here to give all
You're giving
of the
All the
feedback.
tea.
Okay.
All the tea is being spilt today.
So-
Yourselves.
He is a prime example of somebody who is breaking Desi barriers and norms. He's a TikTok fashion icon and has recently started his fitness journey on social media. He shows determination, consistency. All of that will definitely lead to success.
I'm
He's
flattered,
a
guys.
He's a leader in men's skincare, advocates for normalizing self-care in men. We've talked about this.
Yeah.
He's
No
also-
BO here.
No BO here.
I'm joking. Don't cancel me yet. We just started.
He is also my younger brother.
Yeah.
So everybody, please give a warm welcome to Taimour Sultan. Welcome.
You guys, hello.
How are you feeling?
I'm excited. Yeah. of
Are you
course.
nervous? Are you nervous?
I mean, honestly, being on cameras, it used to be nerve-wracking for me.
so used to it.
Yeah, but now I'm like kind of used to it. It's fine.
Okay,
I'll
cool.
figure it out as it happens.
Cool.
Definitely. Okay.
So we wanted to begin the show with a fun segment, a bit of an icebreaker. But ladies and gentlemen, he decided to do the icebreaker on his own. So Taimour is going to be leading the segment. Go ahead.
So, this segment, after watching your guys' videos, shout out to them, to everyone. Give them a 5-star on everything, okay? So, I know you guys are, moms. You're a little, but you're on like the mid spectrum. You kind of know what's happening in the younger generation.
Kind of cool.
Kind of.
Cool.
Cool moms.
But so I actually, I'm gonna be doing a Toronto slang segment.
Whoa.
So I know you did this before, where you asked Hina about some Toronto slang.
Yeah.
Or you guys just
Yeah.
often talk about Toronto youth for
Yeah.
But I came up with a bunch of Toronto slang.
Okay.
Not come up. Well, I wrote them down.
Yeah.
And I want to ask you guys what you think they mean.
All right.
Okay? These are not your average ones. Like there's a couple average ones, just because you have to kind of
Give us
some value points.
Easy on us a little bit.
But some I don't know if you'll get, honestly, because I recently learned them. So,
Yeah. We're not getting them.
No, we're getting them.
If it was 90s slang,
We would have known.
No.
10 or 10. 10 or 10.
No.
10 or 10.
Okay, so first one I'm gonna start off with
Okay.
is we'll go. Actually, let's start with one that you might get.
Okay.
Okay.
So, more times. So that's the first word, more times.
Okay.
It's 2 words, but in a sentence, it can be used like, like more times you go to the grocery store, for example.
Okay.
More times you go to the grocery.
I'm just gonna guess because I've actually never heard of this.
Yeah, it's probably something new. More
I
time.
mean, like often?
That's
Okay,
what it
let's-
would say. That's what I go many times, more times.
Yeah, exactly. That's right. That's right. It basically means like most of the time, okay? Like most of the time you're going to this place or you're doing this
Yes,
thing or you're
yes.
seeing new people.
We use this all the time.
More times you use more time, okay?
More times we drop them kids to daycare.
Literally. So second one, it's gonna be P-R-E-E.
Say it in a sentence. Give us
Yeah,
a
yeah.
sentence.
So like, stop preeing me. Like, yo, you keep preeing me. What are you doing?
Why are you nagging me? Why are you pissing me off?
Annoying me?
Okay,
Or is it like, stop, like judging me?
That sounds.
you're like kind of on the right path.
Okay.
Essentially, yeah, pre. It basically means like stop paying so much close attention to what I'm doing. Like you're like nitpicking small things I'm doing. Like, oh, like
Toxic
stop-
aunties
stop-
are prees. Okay?
Yeah, they are basically.
Toxic aunties be preeing everybody.
Like stop freeing how I'm drinking this this
Thank
coffee.
you. Thank
Stop
you.
freeing
Thank
what I
you.
do.
Yo, we found it for toxic auntie.
Free, and they don't know what we're talking about, so we need to use this lingo.
I need this on t-shirt.
Stop freeing
Start
me.
working.
Swag's coming.
Free me.
Okay.
Okay, that's a new one. Never heard of that. All right.
Next one.
Okay.
Nice it. I'm sure you've heard of this.
I feel like I've heard of it.
And I've heard of
You've probably heard me say it because
Nice it.
But you know, I just don't understand when you say it.
N-I-Z-E and then it.
N-I-Z-E it?
Yeah.
Nice it. Give us a sentence. Then
Yeah, yeah.
Like honestly, like if someone's being annoying, like yo, nice it, fam. Like
just shut the hell up.
basically, yeah. Like yo, you're just talking too much. Like just nice it.
Nice
Like,
it.
you're just like
Nice it.
you just need to stop talking
Nice it.
and doing what you're doing.
I like it.
Also, is this like lingo just really locally Toronto lingo?
Or is this?
Yeah, no, this is locally Toronto.
Okay, cool. Because
And again, like Toronto slang, like it comes from like a mix of like UK and Jamaican. So like that's where it kind of derives from.
okay.
Right.
But like yeah, essentially it's mostly for people here.
All right.
Okay.
But like I'm sure people in like certain parts of the UK will probably understand because like
Yeah.
their lingo is similar to what we do.
Got it. Okay.
And it derives from that essentially.
Okay.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Next one, ally.
I lie.
Like a lie is
Like
we used to say it.
A-H-L-I-E.
Like.
like
Give us a sentence.
Like
wait, you would say it at the end of something in excitement, like a lie?
yeah,
Right?
exactly. So it's like oh like
Like, can you believe it?
Or like no, not like no lies, but
I was gonna
like
say
yo like oh like this dinner is this amazing
a
ally.
lie.
a lie. Yeah. So you know what? Growing up, that was trending when we were growing
Was it a lie or was it like no lies? Because I felt
think
like
it
we
was
said
both.
no lies a lot.
Because I've heard people say a lie like growing up, but I never
I've
knew what
heard
it meant.
people
It just
say,
basically
maybe
means
the
like
context was different,
like
though.
yeah like right like you agree with me
like,
at the end of it.
okay.
Like oh this auntie's so toxic, a lie.
A lie. Oh.
You know what I mean?
She does toxic.
Yeah.
Next one, scoop me.
Scoop.
Scoop like you know like a scooper.
I don't know if I can get with these terms.
Yo, scoop me. Okay, give it to us in a sentence.
Like yo scoop me on the way to the party.
Oh, pick me up.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
It's basically like you're picking like you're scooping something up. You're
Like ice
scooping me
cream
up.
cone.
Yeah.
Like ice cream.
Scooping dog poop.
You're scooping up that diaper basically.
I like that. Okay.
Okay. We'll do two more.
Okay.
Bear. Like
A lot.
yeah.
I know
Yeah,
that
yeah,
one.
I know that one too.
How do you guys know this?
Because we used to say that
use it?
too.
We used to say that too. I hear a lot of kids like in school saying it.
Yeah, it's like an abundance of qualities. Like,
Yeah.
there's a lot of
Yeah. Like,
but it can.
there are times this happened. or-
Yeah.
Yeah. Like it's just like it can be anything. Like oh, like I can't come to the party. I have bear work.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
that's just something.
makes sense.
Cool. Okay, yeah. Okay.
Okay, the next one I don't know if you're gonna get, but it's vexed.
You're
Oh,
upset.
angry.
Yeah.
Angry, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're mad. Yeah. Okay, you guys.
Okay. But vex is like a real dictionary word.
Yeah,
It's
it
not
is.
slang.
Well, it's used in slang.
Okay.
Yeah,
I think. Don't quote me.
I feel like people do because like even when we were younger, people would say that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Vex.
like,
I still
yeah.
say sometimes when I'm really upset.
Yeah?
Like angry, I'm like, I'm vexed.
I say
Yeah,
I'm
it's
pissed
like,
off.
yo.
You're pissing me off.
Pissing me off.
Yeah.
Gotta say with us.
Okay, we have one more. I'll do one more just to
do
see.
Okay, cool.
Marved.
Oh, I feel like I've heard
Something's
that.
like messed up. Or like you like
What? Give us a sentence.
Okay,
Sentence.
no, if I say the sentence, it's gonna be
Then we'll
too
get it.
obvious.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a very obvious thing.
Marv.
is it like with something like murked? I thought it was the same thing.
No, merged is different.
Is merged when something's like messed up or
Yeah, it's just,
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm confusing the two now.
Marved.
Marv. Upset? Angry?
No, I don't think you
Happy.
guys are gonna get this now.
Excited.
Okay, I'll give you an example. Like,
Okay.
oh, I just worked out. I'm so marved.
Like
Exhausted.
jacked up.
Huh?
Jacked up. Like
No.
your muscles are jacked.
Good try.
Fail.
It basically means when you're really hungry.
Oh.
Like I'm marved right now. Like,
I would-
yeah, I don't think you guys really got that.
Lingo come
Do you
from.
want to know when I'm marked?
What?
After those 18-hour rose.
Facts. But yeah, it just means like yo, like
I'm
when you're like hangry, like you're marved.
You know what? There is a TikTok account that comes on my For You page because I watch a lot of food videos. Marved TV.
Oh.
And they're like Toronto guys that go around.
Yeah,
to,
so that's what it means. Like it's like yeah,
I understand your TikTok name.
my.
Marv TV.
I learned something today.
Yeah, collaboration.
Oh my God! Right?
Yo, DM us.
But yeah, that's the segment.
Oh.
So you guys are pretty good. I'm not gonna lie.
Really good too.
Yeah, I think you only
Alive?
missed like you guys missed like 2 or 3. So
Yeah. We did really good. We did really good.
I'm proud of
He
us.
tested us. We passed the test.
We
Yeah.
passed. We are cool moms.
Don't hate. Don't come for us. Okay.
now you'll know when your kids grow up.
No, I think
I
it's
feel
like
like they're gonna have their own lingo.
I think when it's their turn, you will know
Yeah.
because
See, I was gonna say low key. Like, do you know what low key means?
we know Loki. We know Loki. So, if you guys don't already know, I mentioned it before in the episode, but Taimour is my brother. He's my youngest brother. We are a family of 4 siblings. I have an older sister, then me, middle child. Then we have a brother, Heather, and then we have Taimour. And him and I actually have a 10-year age gap.
10 years. This is crazy. Yeah.
It's crazy.
That's a lot.
She's basically my mom at one point.
Yeah, I was. But I feel like now we're more friends.
Yeah. Now it's like,
I guess you get to that age.
yeah, you get to that
Yeah.
age.
Yeah.
We're also pretty similar in kind of our creative outlet, sort of the way that we work, the way that we keep things clean. We
Yeah.
have similar traits.
Right.
So we kind of get along on that aspect.
But I honestly think I got those traits growing up from you. Like,
Okay, so this is a great way to get into kind of a conversation that we
Yeah.
wanted to have with
Yeah.
you. Which one of our questions was going to be, what was it like growing up in a home with 2 older siblings? Or 2 older sisters, sorry.
honestly, so if you think about it, like, with the age gap that I specifically have
Yeah.
with them, like it's way greater than I think most people even have. So to me personally, it was a lot of just like, you guys have already gone through like the process of like going to school, university. So it's like I'm kind of following in your footsteps and you're kind of guiding me in that way, right?
Yeah.
Whereas if it was someone closer in my age, like I'm sure many of you have siblings who are closer in your age, it's more like, let's go through this journey together. And like I'm sure they'll teach each other certain things, but I think having an older sister, especially this big of an age gap, you learn like, okay, like this is what's right, wrong, and it's more so like a, not in a bad way, a parenting thing, but it's more like they're kind of guiding you in a way where it's like, this is how you should navigate towards.
Yeah.
Which in a sense it's hard because like you also want to be like your own person at one
Absolutely,
point.
yeah.
But then at another point you're like, okay, but these people are probably more wiser because they've gone through so much other things.
So they're like your second parents, basically.
Almost, yeah, but it's not in a bad way because like maybe growing up you kind of think of it as a bad way because you're like, oh, like they're like hounding me or like they're doing all these things that's like, you're not my parent.
Yes.
But at the end of the day, when you grow up to a certain age, you're like, okay, like that's who made me who I am now.
Yeah, totally.
Especially because like, you know, we all come from immigrant parents. Like it was their first time coming here and trying to raise us in a Western society. So like for them, it was also hard for them to navigate like how we live our life here.
True.
So them being older siblings, it's like, or especially these older sisters, like they already went through that Western phase of growing up. So they know how to like parent you in a sense.
Yeah.
You know what I
Do
mean?
you feel like they kind of had to like pave that path so that it would be easier for you? Because I feel like, okay, so I'm like the third sibling, right?
What's the age gap between your siblings?
So my oldest sisters, me and her have like a 3-year age gap.
Okay.
And then me and Selma are like 11 months.
Oh, okay.
And then my younger brother is a 3-year age gap.
Okay.
So we're pretty close. It's not like
Yeah,
a
it's not
10-year.
that big,
It's not a
yeah.
10-year. But I still say that like in a sense, my older siblings kind of paved the path.
For sure.
So like if they were allowed to do certain things, I feel like because they were allowed to do it, then I got permission to do
yeah.
those things too. So
Yeah.
do you feel like it was similar for you?
No, I think like more so like they weren't allowed to do it.
Oh, because they were girls?
Okay, it's not necessarily. Yeah, maybe. Honestly,
Yeah,
maybe
yeah,
girls. Yeah.
yeah.
I could, but again, I don't know for everyone personally.
Sure.
Yeah, like for us, maybe it is because they were girls, and
Yeah.
like then like we were saying, my brother is 4 years older than me.
Right.
So he kind of paves the path where like he was also kind of not allowed to do things, and he just kind of like was like, I don't care yet. So like yeah, honestly, so then he kind of paid the way where like at that point, like my sisters were married. At the point of where I am now, like my sisters were married, like my brother's at the age of getting married. Like
Yeah.
now my parents are kind of like, okay, he clearly knows how to handle his.
Yeah, totally.
But again, being a younger sibling, like you do a lot of your things by yourself.
Yeah.
So you are kind of dependent on yourself. So I think that also is like, it shows your immigrant parents like, okay, like this youngest child can do things on his own.
Right.
Love that.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Because I also feel like on the other side of it, there's also siblings where, like, as a younger child, and maybe this is because of that age gap, right? Where, like, I think for me, it was like the older siblings have like so much, I guess, not like necessarily respect, but like trust from their parents that like I know that they have everything on lock. But then the younger siblings, because you're like the baby, it's always like, well, no, you are not.
So that's a
not
big thing.
responsible
Like,
enough.
and
Yeah.
that, honestly, I'm gonna say this like from what it's been right now. I think it's always gonna be like that.
I think so too.
You're never like as a younger sibling, like they say, like it may be easier in the sense where like you get more freedom, you get to go out, you get to travel, you get to do all these things because you're the youngest and like they trust you more essentially. So you can have all these things, freedom and stuff, but at the end of the day, like you're not gonna have that same level of respect in terms of what you say or your opinion.
Yeah,
so, like
totally.
It's because I feel like siblings and parents are always going to look at you as the baby of the
yeah, that's what it is. That's fine. Yeah.
And I can see that now as a mom with my 3 kids. I always look at Isa and I was like, but he's just a baby.
Yeah.
But really, at his age, his brothers were doing so much stuff and I was
Yeah.
letting them explore a little bit more. But I don't know, when it comes to him, I do baby him a lot.
Yeah.
And I do look at him like, oh my God, he's
just a baby. Yeah.
But maybe
like, he's turning 2. You know what I mean? Like, I shouldn't be helicoptering
maybe
him.
it's also because in your mind you're like, he's my last.
Yeah.
That's true.
Because like maybe your parents thought that with you too, that like he's our last kid. And, like,
Yeah.
we just want to like. But I also think sometimes it's hard because you don't always want to be babied. Like when you get
that's
older,
what I'm
you're
saying.
Like, come on, like I'm like 20 or 30 something. I'm like, I'm not a baby. Like I'm also mature enough.
That's what I mean. Like maybe you have like the physical like freedom to do whatever you want, but like emotionally, it's like, is my word ever gonna be taken like, like do I have enough power?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, like something will happen. And it's like, oh, your older sibling says their opinion and then you say yours and it's like, yeah, but he said this, so like maybe he's right.
Okay, see that dynamic is a lot in like a Desi household.
It is. It's just
really
it is
does.
what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, being the youngest, I think it's like it's this battle between like I have to follow what everyone is saying because like they're wiser.
Yeah.
But like when am I gonna be my own person?
That's true. I feel like that makes a lot of sense. But do you feel like you still get to do more than what maybe
100%. Yeah. Like for everyone who doesn't know, I traveled a lot this year, and like you can say this, like did you travel when you were 23?
No, I never traveled.
We didn't
I
leave
traveled after I got married. Everything was shadi ke baad.
Yeah.
I traveled shadi ke baad.
But again,
here I do everything.
Do you think that's because again I'm a guy?
So that
100%.
also plays a factor.
Especially in a Desi community, like honestly,
100%.
that's what it is.
Yeah.
Because my sister and I, because we were the older ones in the family, but we were also girls, we didn't have that freedom. And like there were certain things that my parents were really strict about, and one of them was like the no sleepovers, the no traveling, and even like restrictions on like how long you were allowed to stay out, and like, okay, this is a collective experience. I'm sure everybody has gone through this. Have you ever had it where you go out one night or one day, like God forbid you decide to ask to go out again? You gotta wait 3 weeks to make another plan.
Have fun 2 days in a row. You're not allowed.
You're not allowed.
No.
You're not allowed to have fun.
How dare you?
2 days in a row. How
He's quiet because he's like, I have fun 2 days in a row.
Men like 3 times a day. Every
I went on
week.
vacation for
And honestly, that's probably because it's a guy thing.
I honestly like D-Lo. I'm so jealous of.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
Sorry, guys.
Because we would plan it. I remember even my sister, she'd be like, listen, on this weekend I'm going. So like you keep mom occupied, and then 2 weekends later I'm going, and then she keeps mom occupied, and we had to like play this game of back and forth so that my mom never felt like everybody was out of the house at once.
Yeah.
And that you were quote unquote having too much fun during that week.
Don't have too much fun. How dare you?
Yeah. Aram se baito ghar mein. That was the thing. You just have tell your friends to come over.
Okay, but like,
That was the
what
biggest
were you doing when you were having too much fun? Tell me that first.
You want to know what we were doing? We were sitting at a friend's house ordering pizza.
Creamy garlic only, okay?
Oh my God.
Creamy garlic only.
That's
By the way,
Put it out there.
you know one of those things, guess the calories.
Don't tell
No.
me. Don't tell me. Don't tell me. I don't want to know.
How much is it? Tell me.
1,200.
300 in one container. Yo, fam, chat. I can eat with 2 slices, I can eat like 2 of those.
Are you kidding me?
I eat creamy garlic with my pizza.
Okay,
I don't eat
that's
pizza
not-
with my creamy garlic, okay? It's the opposite.
You could literally spoon feed yourself.
Yeah.
It's
It is so, but honestly,
Put it
nobody
that.
also makes it like
No one makes it like that.
Nobody.
Nobody. Pizza Hut, terrible.
Nothing.
Pizza Depot and all these no.
Nothing.
No.
But pizza?
Yeah.
Creamy
You
garlic.
guys remember when these
Shout out
do
to
they still
them.
sell it at the grocery stores?
At Sobeys.
No, yeah, they do.
they still?
I think they do.
They
In a
used
pack
to.
of 3.
They used to.
In a triangle.
We know he knows because he's been
Like making roti.
Midnight snack.
Snipping it in
Literally.
your roti.
Oh, I'm dying.
How has it been being in your 20s now? Sort of navigating, you're done school, and you're working and you're helping with the business and you have your social media journey also happening. What is it like navigating in your 20s, being the youngest, living with your parents, and then also kind of figuring out who you are and how you want to be and how you want to express yourself. And like I've mentioned in the intro that you are also like taking on all these roles that like maybe a little bit taboo for men, right? Like not a lot of men are going to show the skincare stuff, even though
Right.
they should. I
Yeah.
talked about this in the last
Yeah.
episode where men need to show things like
Self-care.
that. Show some
Yeah.
self-care. Women want to see it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
If you have a pimple, put a patch on that.
Yeah.
Come on, shit up.
Yo, those pimple patches are amazing.
They are.
Amazing.
They are, you know?
Amazing.
Take
Yeah.
care of your hair
Yeah.
and like cut your nails. Go get a pedicure done.
Yeah, totally.
You don't need to put if you want to put nail polish on, cool. But if you don't want to, like have some nice feet.
Yeah.
And so what is it like also navigating that and trying to break those barriers while now you're done school, navigating an adult life.
Yeah.
Plus living at home.
Yeah.
In a
Okay,
Desi
honestly,
household.
yeah.
Desi household.
Yeah.
So your 20s, I think it's always like it's gonna be this, and I'm sure you guys have already gone through it, so you know. But it's always this like awkward stage of like, okay, now I'm done these last 20 years of like
Yeah.
following what my parents wanted me to do of like school. And now you're done. Now it's like you're in this middle stage of like, okay, I'm old enough to be an adult.
Yeah.
But like I'm still considered a child to my parents because I'm
Yeah.
20 living in their house.
Yeah.
So it's like you're in this middle stage of like, where do I draw the line between like what I want to do and
Yeah.
like what I have to sacrifice because like I'm living with my parents.
That's so true.
And it's always going to be that middle stage up until you're married. Like it's always going to be like,
true.
you can't do this, you can't wear this, you can't go
Yeah.
here. But then it's like, technically I'm an adult.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where do I break that line of like respect and like what
Yeah.
I can actually do?
That's very true.
So it's hard because it's like, where do you navigate that way? Like, it's just kind of something you have to figure out. And like, you also have to learn to set boundaries with people and like people in your life. That's another big thing is like setting boundaries with your parents of like, you know, you can't do certain things. And it's
Yeah.
like, or even accepting it for yourself. Like,
Yeah.
it's okay because I've realized like being a Desi kid, like your parents will always have an idea of whatever it is, and it's probably not going to change.
Right.
Yeah, that's
It's not going to change. You can try to educate them to
Yeah.
probably learn better, but
Yeah.
realistically, we all know it will not change.
Right.
No.
Right.
So what do you have to do as a kid in your 20s or 30s, whatever it is? Like I'm sure you guys are
Yeah.
like when your mom says something or
Yeah.
a family member says something,
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah.
you just have to sit back and be like, okay, it's fine. Like they're not going to change. Like,
Yeah, totally.
Let's try to educate them maybe,
Yeah.
but at the end of the day, like it's fine. It's just who they are.
Yeah, that's true.
Unfortunately, it is what it is with parents. It's hard,
But it's
Yeah.
true.
but it's true,
Yeah.
right? And sometimes that's where we end up, even like when we were in our 20s, where you end up giving up so much and sacrificing so much because you know that it's going to be so hard to change their mentality. So like, you know what, I will just change kind of my thinking or my way of doing things, or you end up unfortunately doing a lot of things in secret.
In secret, yeah.
Because you know that mentality in your parents might not change. Right?
And not even in secret with just your parents, but it's just like our community is so taboo.
Yeah.
You can't talk about certain things. You can't do certain things. You can't wear certain things. You can't post certain things.
You can't be
like
seen with certain
people. Yeah, it's just so like.
Might be married.
Yeah.
You can't be seen in the mall with them.
That's true.
With your
It's
legal
just
husband.
You're not allowed to talk about certain things with
true.
parents.
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh, that's not appropriate.
Yeah, like
even if
shame.
Yeah, like, and even if it's not something so extreme, it's just like they weren't allowed to talk about it, or they never had the opportunity to talk about it with their parents because again, it's like stemmed from so far back.
That's so true.
Yeah.
It's also like life experiences that they've never had.
Yeah.
Like our parents were not like, yeah, I'm gonna go on vacation. You know, like,
Yeah.
oh, I want to, like I want to do this and self-care for men.
Yeah.
Our parents were not that. Self-care for men was like, I'm using Lux bar soap to wash my face. Okay. Irish Spring. We got the Irish Spring happening. Like it was nothing fancy.
Yeah.
So like now it's like, I think it's like a foreign concept for them.
It is, yeah.
It's hard for them to understand a lot of these things. And I think sometimes even when you try to explain it to them, I think some of them even might try their hardest to understand.
But it's just,
But it's too hard for them.
It is.
It's too hard, and it's such a foreign concept to them. Just like a lot of what they've gone through is also foreign to us too.
Yep.
Yeah.
So to your point, for example, like now you are also navigating a social media world. We are also navigating this social media world, right?
Totally.
And this entire platform and how it works and the ins and outs of it that maybe we didn't realize when we had personal accounts, right?
Totally.
And I feel like our parents don't know anything about it.
Yeah.
They know literally like the face of it or surface level, I would say.
Oh, he makes videos.
Yeah. Very.
Right?
They don't know the depth of what it actually
They don't know the time and effort in the content.
Yeah.
The thinking behind it.
Yeah.
The kind of marketing that you end up doing, the cuts, what's in, how to film. And so they don't know that, but I can also equate it to us not knowing what it was like to leave a country behind.
Yeah, 100%.
Come over here,
Exactly.
right? They left everything, packed a suitcase, got on an airplane, and flew all the way to a country where they didn't know the language. They didn't understand the weather.
Yeah.
And it's like my mom didn't pack a jacket when she came here.
Yeah,
she did shawls, right? And like a little bit of velvet suits because she was like, that's what they wear in Pakistan during winter time. And then understanding how you have to do everything here by yourself.
Yeah.
You don't have the luxury of calling somebody or going down the street to get fresh rotis.
You don't have
or
Not Good.
You don't have Not Good. You don't have like somebody coming to do your dishes for you. You don't have somebody running an errand for you, doing your laundry for you. You have to do everything by yourself. And at that time, I still remember my mom tells me stories about them having to go to a laundromat.
Yeah.
Right? Or when we used to live in a building, the laundry machines weren't in the apartment.
Yeah.
So there was a separate room of laundry machines, and she would save all of her quarters. And we would take her little change purse of coins.
Yeah.
And we would go down to the laundry room, and it would be a whole thing. And then every 40-minute cycle, we'd have to go in again. And if you were too late, your laundry was out of the machine or sitting on top.
Gosh, yeah.
See,
right?
they'll never understand
We
that.
don't understand that kind of struggle, just like they are not going to understand sort of the social media world.
Yeah.
Where we might not even understand when our kids are going through it, kind of the social media, how much more it will explode.
Oh, totally.
Right?
Totally.
How crazy technology is really going to become.
Yeah, exactly.
How maybe certain social skills are going to be diminished because kids are just not going to know how to socialize anymore.
Yeah, definitely.
And all of these things. So that's where I think the gaps are going to happen.
For sure.
And as we are forgiving to our parents, I'm hoping our kids are forgiving to us.
Fingers crossed.
I always say though, like for example, like your parents again came here, they sacrificed everything, and they provided us like essentially a financial security,
Right?
Yeah, totally.
Whereas like when you guys are now parents, or when I'm gonna be a parent, inshallah,
Inshallah.
basically like it's gonna be harder for us to provide a financial security. Like you guys can speak on that, but what can we provide them? Emotional security.
That's so
Whereas where
true.
our parents lacked that.
Oh my God, that is so well said.
Yeah, like financial versus emotional security. Like they've provided us financial, but lacked possibly the emotional. Whereas it's the opposite for our generation.
I totally agree with that.
So, what do you feel like? Do you feel pressure? So, I want to ask you this because you're in your 20s and you've got a lot of friends, and I wanted to ask, what is it with that generation and maybe the generation after you of like not feeling the need to get your license? I know you have your license, but I'm just saying, I know a lot of people who are younger in their 20s who just, they don't want to get their license.
I
They
did
don't
not
really
even
care
know that.
to. Oh my God, there's a huge thing where kids
Yeah.
are like, well, we don't need it. I don't need my license because
all
I'm
these
just,
things. Yeah.
I'm just gonna Uber everything.
Oh my God.
Uber eats my food. Uber drive.
You know what I think about this whole thing? Like, I think as a whole generation, like, I'm sure you guys can also relate to this, where like we have all gotten just lazy.
I so agree with that.
Like social media and all like technology has made us such lazy
I
people that we can't comprehend the fact that our parents left the country and literally had to do everything from scratch.
Right.
Yeah.
Because we have just gotten lazy as a society, so we depend on everything else. Whereas like they put in so much effort to provide us those
so
things.
true.
And because they didn't have anyone to rely
Yeah.
on. They didn't have anyone to lean on. You know what I mean? Like we have our parents to lean on because we're a child of immigrants,
Yeah.
because they worked so hard. But when they came here, who did they have? No one.
Yeah, that's-
So what do they have to do? They have to work really hard.
Hustle.
Yeah.
They had to hustle. That's why their generation is like so minty. Like,
Yeah, and
they really are.
They're built different.
They're so
They're built
different.
different.
Ain't no generation will be built like that.
I'm telling you, like, I feel like we might get a little bit of it because I feel like, obviously, like, I think we still, like, I still appreciate hard work, honestly. But to that level, I don't know about that. But to your point, that's so true because we were just, I was talking to my sisters and we were like, even Amazon, like the concept of Amazon, which is like, now they'll come to your door and pick up your return. You know what I mean? Like, you don't even have to go to the post office, okay?
It's
they'll
crazy.
come to your door. You don't even have to put it in a box. You just hand it right over. Everything is
Yeah.
so convenient.
Yeah.
And
Small
everything
things
is so
like even
lazy.
like airdrop. Like yesterday, I
Yeah.
airdropped you can airdrop contacts now too. Like it's so
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy. You can do everything. So it's like our parents just like print pictures and have memory books. It's like no, oh yeah, open your phone. Let me airdrop you the picture.
Yeah.
Oh wow. It is a very
It's like small things that you don't really realize, and you're like, oh,
Yeah.
like this is a big change that
it
like
is a big change.
is.
And it's also a big change for them because like they've come from a place where like when they were initially like back home, they didn't even have phones.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
they had to run to like the store next door to like dial somebody. And then they came, now it's like cell phones and like now they're trying to get used to like this brand new technology and like
Yeah.
how do they navigate that? And I also think it's hard for them to understand like as our generation and like even your generation, like how do we relate to like this new generation?
Yeah.
You know, like how do they set
TikTok.
boundaries with us? Right?
Yo, you know, if your mom watches TikTok, it's crazy. One night, funny story. I actually came home around I came in home in the evening, and I come home and I like walk in. My mom's watching Hum TV drama.
Yeah, of course.
Has her glasses on, and on the same phone, all I hear is like that what is that TikTok that you were saying of that Toronto girl?
Oh,
Oh my God.
This is true. So I hear that on the TikTok. I'm like, yo, who is home and who is watching this video? Because I know it's not my mom.
Oh, you're lying.
I swear she was watching it. The business is true. I just lost it at that point. I was like, yo, but it was also like a wholesome moment. I'm like, the fact that she's sitting here with her glasses
That's
on,
so
like
cute.
watching TikTok, like I was like, it's just so funny to me. And like certain things, she'll like ask me about certain things, and I'm like, it's just so adorable how like
That is so cute.
yeah, like you're asking me about certain things, like, oh, what does this mean, or like.
Ask what that meant, like if the business.
She didn't ask about that, but like she's asked me about certain things that
Yeah.
like that she's seen, like, oh, what does it mean? And I'm like, if only I could tell you. Back to it being taboo, like
Yeah,
there's certain
yeah.
things you can't really.
Yeah,
It's not that you can't tell them; it's like you just feel embarrassment. Like
for sure.
But I also think like nowadays, from where it used to be, like there's so much more out there.
yeah,
Like, everything is so open.
It is.
Like even if you look at like Bollywood movies, how they were
Oh
back
my
then and
God.
how they are now,
For real.
completely different. Okay, like you cannot take your parents to a Bollywood movie.
No.
no, thank you. You don't know.
You
what's
gotta go by
happening.
yourself.
Yeah.
Vet the movie.
vet
and
the
then be
movie.
like, Ma, listen, there are a couple of scenes.
Yeah.
But I'll take you because generally the
'Cause, like,
movie's alright.
But then what do you do when you're sitting in the theater and there's
you
like
go to the bathroom.
No,
Yo, I'll be back. I need to use the bathroom.
cover your mom's
Yeah.
eyes.
Or you awkwardly check your notifications.
oh my god.
Yeah, honestly, like, but and taking before too, like it was like, oh, a small handhold, and you're like, and now it's like full.
Full on.
It is.
Like
it is.
too much.
Sometimes I feel like even for me, because we grew up in a conservative home, when I watch certain TV shows and movies and it is a little bit out there, even I get awkward.
I think it's awkward
and uncomfortable.
Because like, do I need to see that?
Right?
Yeah.
Like, why is it in everything?
Yeah.
See, I think my generation we agree with that, where it's like certain things it's like, okay, this is like way too extreme. Like, for example, I'm sure the audience has seen Euphoria.
Oh, that was too much.
Yeah, like
It's a lot.
It's a lot. Like, even I rewatched it recently too. I'm like, this is like extreme.
Yeah. I
like-
felt like that too. I felt like
That show, it's not just that a lot of it was extreme or whatever. I feel like it took such a toll on me
Yeah.
that I couldn't binge watch it.
Yeah.
Because so much of the content was too much for me to handle. Like I would get heart palpitations
Yeah.
watching
Yeah,
the show.
yeah.
And it would make me so scared because now that we're moms and we have kids, and I'm like, I don't want to send my kids to
no,
school.
mentally it's a really heavy.
I'm gonna homeschool my kids for the rest of their life.
Because if I'm being honest, like what they show, like it is an extreme level of what happens, but
Right.
I'm sure you guys have witnessed it too in high school, university.
Yeah.
Like those things do happen.
They do.
Right,
It's
right,
very,
right.
and we're at a point in our generation where it's so readily available.
It really is.
That's
That's the scary part. Yeah.
Yeah. I also feel like kids nowadays are like, they're different.
they are different.
I don't know if they're as like scared of their parents.
No, they're not.
No, they're not.
They're not.
I can speak that from like an educator perspective.
Yeah. Oh my
Kids
gosh.
are not afraid of their parents. You know, back in the day when your teacher would come to you and be like, if you don't hand in that assignment, I'm calling your mom.
Yeah.
And you would be sweating.
Or like you get a dean, like sign the test and come back. Oh,
Okay,
Yo,
forging some signatures.
not even that. I had to tell her. Okay, I had to show her the F on the test. Okay. And oh my god, my heart would sink to the bottom of my ankles. Okay, I used to be so scared because I'm like, obviously, like my mom and our parents, like they were strict in terms of like what grade you're getting, but like
Yeah.
because you had already gone through that, you were like, no, like you're not allowed to get a C.
Yeah.
And then what did you do? Did you forge the signature or were you like, you better?
I would look at it, I would yell and lecture him, and then I'd be like, I never want to see this again, and then I'd sign that paper.
Okay, that's sister though.
Honestly though, but I have to say, when it was your turn, when it came to yours and Heather's turn, when it came to like schools and stuff, like my parents really backed off because my sister and I kind of took on that role.
Yeah.
Right?
Especially with school.
And because we had gone, like, growing up, nobody was helping us with our homework.
Yeah.
We would sort of help each other, and then we literally figured everything out on our own.
Yeah.
Right? And I very rarely remember, once in a while, I remember my mom helping out or like getting materials for projects,
Yeah,
things like
yeah.
that. But we literally learned everything on our own. When it came to them,
The Bristol boards,
the
yo.
Bristol boards, those 3 trifolds.
Yo. She used to one night. I think she did my whole project for me
Yeah,
because I was like,
did.
"Yo, I don't know what to do."
All of your deserving grades are.
Yeah,
Oh my
shout out to
God.
Big Sis.
Big sis. Whoa.
That university degree needs my name on it.
But it's harder at the same time because I was gonna relate this back to being like youngest in the household, where it's like you may have like someone to guide you, but when you get to your 20s, it's like you don't want to ask for help because you're like, I'm at this age now where like I need to figure, because at this point it's like everyone in my house was married at that point and my brother was doing his own thing, so it's like now who am I gonna rely on? No,
Yeah,
I have to
true.
find who I am myself,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
So it's like
so true.
I don't want to ask for help, or like if I'm really struggling, like
Yeah.
maybe then I would think about it, but it's harder to ask for help at an age where you're like, I don't want to be the youngest anymore. So it's like I want to be like my own person. Yeah.
can
I also feel like because you're never given that like respect, I guess, or like the like that feeling from
You want to do it yourself.
you want to do it
Yeah.
yourself. 'Cause I am very much like that, where I'm like, I don't want to ask for help. I'd
Yeah.
rather struggle and do it myself and figure it out than be like, hey, can you help?
And feel accomplished in doing it
Exactly.
yourself. But at the end of the day, like it's okay to ask for
Yeah,
help in anything.
it
Like
is.
it's
It is, yeah.
And I think now I'm realizing that like
Yeah.
if you need something, like
Yeah.
just ask.
Yeah, for sure.
Do you feel like that it trickled into your journey in motherhood?
100%.
Because it was hard to ask.
I know I'm like that.
Okay,
Like
okay.
I hate asking anyone for help.
Yeah.
It's like a bad quality.
Oh.
It really is.
Girl, just ask.
I know I should.
Your village is
I
around.
should. The village is around
Yeah.
and they're like so great, but like I'm just like, no, I got this.
Yeah.
I'm a strong, independent woman. Inside, I'm like, I'm not.
Just want somebody to do it for me.
Literally. But yeah, it's just kind of like you're always gonna be in this middle stage until you get your own
Yeah.
sense of self.
Yeah.
I think so too.
Another thing I was gonna say
Yes.
is like being the youngest, you're a people pleaser, and I don't know if it's. Do you think you are?
We are.
Maybe it's we.
I feel like I am.
We are.
Maybe it's a
collective.
we, yeah.
It's a we. It's a collective
I think it's like a
experience.
Desi experience.
It is.
Maybe I think it is a Desi experience.
You know,
Yeah.
because I feel like you know and understand and recognize what your parents have done, the sacrifices they have made for you. So all you want to do is always get their approval.
Yeah.
Make sure you are that golden child for them, but also for
Everyone else.
Everyone else.
Like your dog's cousin.
Yeah.
Okay, like
Yeah.
you just need to make sure you're in everyone's
telling you.
good side.
Yeah.
But it's not even always just pleasing for the sake of like because they've done things for you. I also think our parents were that way as well.
Yeah.
Where they were raised to always be like, you don't ever even question. Like if your parent says something to you, you quietly just obey.
Yeah.
There's no, I can't do it. It's always a yes. You figure it out. It's always a yes.
When I realize I'm in my 20s now, it's hard because like when my friends ask me to do something or if I get an opportunity with something on TikTok, it's like it's hard for me to say no because it's like I'm stemmed that way to always say yes.
Yeah.
So that is something I'm trying to like unlearn almost.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
it's okay to say no.
And it's hard because sometimes you're like, when you say no, you're like, oh my God, did I hurt someone's feelings?
Yeah, or it's like you say no, like come on, man. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, I guess now I have to say yes. Like
You're like, finally, I like had the courage to set
say no, and not got pushed up for one
Never
thing.
mind, I'll do it.
Like, do you feel like as a mom, like it's hard to say no to your kids?
Yes, a lot.
It's
But
yeah.
you know what? It's a little bit different too because like it wasn't hard for me to say no to you and Heather.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so I find that I'm like that with my kids where if I need to say no, like I will say no. But it's really hard for me to say no to mom.
Yeah.
It's really hard for me to say no to Sidra.
Yeah.
Right? Our older sister. It's really hard for me to say no to dad.
Yeah.
It's really hard for me to say no to my in-laws.
Yeah.
So it's like I think it's
Or
more
anyone
like,
older in your
anyone
family.
older, a
Yeah.
little bit, and anybody with that kind of relationship in my life where I always said yes to them, I can't set that boundary.
So I think in just South Asian households, it's anyone who's
think that's
older
what it
than you.
is.
Like you just
They always say like if you're older, then you have to respect your
elders. Yeah.
And sometimes I feel like, and this is not even necessarily like family, but even though there is of course toxic family, but sometimes you are saying yes and like letting people like say things to you that are so out of line.
Yeah.
Of course.
And like it just allows them to disrespect you. And I've done that so many times where I'm just like, it's okay, just like
Be the bigger person.
be the
Yeah.
bigger person. And I feel like it just cultivates this like
But that's exactly where people. It just comes from like that's just how the South Asian community
It
is
is.
always gonna be.
Yeah.
Like how do you
How
break
do you
that
change it?
boundary?
Yeah.
You can't.
I feel like you can't.
If you are a people pleaser, which I feel like a lot of us are, it's so hard to even set that boundary.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
And when you do, you feel like you can self-destruct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You feel guilty.
You
You feel so bad about yourself.
Yeah. You're like, oh my God, what do they think of me? I
Yeah.
just want them to like me.
Yeah.
I know.
You know,
Oh my God.
it goes back to everything we've talked about on this podcast
Yeah,
where
totally.
the log kya kahenge, the I just want to fit in.
Yeah.
And I feel like those two and being a people pleaser, it's so hard to set boundaries.
It's so hard to set boundaries.
because you just don't know how to say no.
Yeah, or it's gotten to the point with me where it's like I genuinely just don't care. Like yes or no, sure.
Yeah.
I'm just. It's just like I'm so accustomed to saying yes that like
Yeah.
it doesn't even matter if I say no like, because like I know I'll probably end up doing it.
You know what's unfortunate? Because you're like that, I feel like I constantly ask you for things in the back of my mind, unconsciously knowing you will say yes.
Oh
Yeah.
my God.
That's the thing. That's what I do.
Stop, sister.
I know. I need to fix
No,
that.
but essentially too, like even my friends, like if you don't want to, like it's fine. But I'm like genuinely, like I don't care.
Yeah, I get
Like
that.
it's like
I get
also
that.
gotten to the point where it's like I don't care. Like it is
Yeah.
what it is.
Yeah.
And I think I live by like it is what it is. Like it's fine. Yeah. It's
I mean,
just
it's a great thing to live by.
I know. You just kind of cruise through life.
Yeah.
You don't take anything
too seriously.
True. So I also wanted to touch on your fitness journey. How did that begin? Hina is on a great fitness journey.
I've been watching your videos and
Of course.
Yeah.
been good.
Yeah.
Are you,
So good.
do you, like, I have talked about kind of like my relationship with food and how I used to be growing up and how I lost all the weight. And like, how did you grow up thinking about weight loss or weight gain, maybe in men's case, versus kind of what you had to unlearn in this industry and how you have changed your work, the way you work out and how you've seen your gains and how it's in your lifestyle now. Kind of like speak on it.
So like it honestly started about 2 years ago at the end of COVID when like I just finally looked at myself. I was like, yo, I'm just not happy with how I look. Like, it's just, I think all brown, like South Asian people go through this, where it's like, we see all these like, you know, people in like Hollywood and like all these things, and like you don't see yourself represented in that essentially, right? So you don't see what our body types look like, because scientifically, like if you guys didn't know, we all have a very specific body type where we store fat in certain areas, which is why a lot of like our body types look the same or look similar.
I didn't know that.
Which is why it's like you look at certain influencers or like who are not POC and you're like, oh, I want to look like that, but essentially you won't look like that.
Yeah,
you know what
that's
I mean?
so true.
So like it started 2 years ago when after COVID, I was like, okay, it's time for me to like change how I look. So I really, and at that point I really just committed from the start. I wasn't like on off. I just was like 100% like, all in.
Love that.
And since then I've just been consistent. Like it's been good, but at the same time it's hard because like, again, in a South Asian community, it's like growing up, I was always really skinny. Like, took 3 bites and ran away from the sofa. Like, it's literally
He was picky
and 3 bites.
and just 3 bites, and he was like, I don't want to touch nothing. He just wasn't an eater.
Subway story. Yo, I need to tell the chat this.
Okay, go.
Podcast listeners. So basically, me being the youngest sibling, all of them were getting Subway. So, it was my first time getting Subway too. I'm like, yo, I need to try Subway too. What is the Subway hype that everyone's getting?
Also, we were like, it's a waste of money because we know you don't eat anything.
Yeah, and at this point, I didn't eat I didn't really eat meat because like haram. Okay, haram police. Okay. We didn't eat meat. Yeah. I didn't eat hot peppers, onions, nothing. No vegetable. Okay, listen. I'll tell you. So all of them go to Subway. I'm like, yo, I'm getting one too. So I walk into Subway and I start ordering, and I get a 6-inch veggie sub with lettuce and cucumber.
Did you even get sauce on it?
No cheese, no sauce. Okay, lettuce and cucumber.
Guess what, guys? He took 3 bites and he was gagging.
I threw it up. I threw up the entire sub.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Okay, like why did you not help him?
We tried. Honestly, we tried a lot. We were like, the more try it, and he was like, no, gross, ew, I don't want to touch it. Don't bring it near me. He just did it.
Up.
Yeah,
I just remember you eating like kebabs once in a while.
Yeah.
And I feel like maybe pizza. And even then, he would never finish like a slice of pizza.
Yeah.
It would be a couple of bites.
What?
So I've always been really skinny. I just never really ate a lot, and I don't know. Maybe it's just
genetics.
Yeah, genetics. Who knows?
And, you know, some people I feel like have some people overindulge, and I feel like you just didn't have that quality.
The one thing I had was the sweet tooth.
Yeah, sweet tooth. That was it.
And I still have that to this day. No, literally, like to this day, it's like really bad. Yeah.
I have such a bad.
Like I threw a tantrum at Zeller's to get a gumball or something.
Oh lord.
So
Zeller's gumball.
Yeah, those are the best.
Those were the best.
But yeah, I always had like a really just never really ate. And then once I started working out, I got a trainer at Good Life, and he's like honestly the best person that like I've met. He's just taught, and more so like training me. He's taught me on like what to eat, how to eat, what's important, and those things I've learned now. So it's kind of hard because like growing up, I was always skinny, and I was always told by like family members or anyone like, oh, bahut patle ho, like eat more, like you don't eat enough, you're too skinny. Now it's like you're getting fat, you're too big, stop getting big.
Oh my God.
Lord,
it's like there's this constant cycle.
You can never please.
And I tell people too, it's like, oh, I'm not fat, I'm just gaining muscle, so I look bigger from what I used to look like. But it's like there's always this constant battle of like, again, who are you pleasing? Are you always trying to please somebody? And with my fitness thing, it's gone to where like I'm not pleasing anybody but myself.
I don't think you need to.
Like it's just gotten to that point where like
so good. Like
thank you.
Videos and I'm like, damn.
Yeah, I used to be really
do a pull up if my life depended on it.
I don't have that kind of form.
I don't even know about a push up right now.
But yo, let's get on a treadmill because I could get you.
Yeah, I don't have the cardio endurance.
I hate cardio so much, but maybe I would attempt it with you.
We should do it.
I don't know if I should. You're really competitive.
Yeah, back to it being the taboo of it all. Like, we have never really seen POC in terms of like bodybuilding, fitness. Like, it is a thing now, and I'm so happy we see like representation in our own community and like anybody of color, because like it's important to see that. But it's like when you don't see it for so long, it's like, okay, like I need to get to that point, or I want to break that barrier.
That's so true, because like on Instagram and TikTok and stuff, you really don't see a lot of like people of color that are doing fitness.
Yeah, and there's like a taboo of like, oh,
Especially Desis.
are you showing too much skin? Are you flexing? Oh, like he's working.
trying too
Yeah, you're. There's always gonna be haters. Okay? Do what you want to do. Do what you want to do.
Yeah, I love that. I love
Okay, so how hard is it to like live at home with parents, have a fitness journey, but then also like avoid kind of the Desi foods?
Yeah, so what I do for that, honestly, is like anything that your mom makes, just take out the protein from it, whatever it is.
Okay.
So like or like any, like for example, like give me your favorite food that your mom makes.
biryani.
Yeah, exactly. So what I'll do is like I'll take a portion of the rice
Yeah.
and take more of the meat.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or whatever the protein is in it.
Then do you pair it with something else? Like do you have a salad or
Yeah,
something?
like or I'll just have that, or I'll like have a protein shake or like something like that, where it's like it's hard because again our foods are so much more dense and
Yeah.
we just like to indulge. We're just that community, you know what I mean?
Really.
Yeah.
I love
But
it.
I also realize it's okay to like allow yourself that treat.
Yeah,
That's
I think
great.
that's the thing. Like, I think the fact that he's saying that, because a lot of the times that from everything that when I was younger,
Yeah.
everyone in our community that would diet, and sorry, I shouldn't like generalize to everyone, but a lot of people, they would always do these fad diets where it's like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm just eating dal.
Yeah,
And I'm just
yeah.
like, what?
Yeah.
Because like you can't maintain that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then when you stop, you're gonna gain it all back.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like him talking about like portion control and like eating, like still allowing yourself
Yeah.
to eat those things, but in moderation.
Yeah.
That's
what's
the right way to do it.
Right.
And honestly, nutrition is the biggest part of like
really
fitness.
is.
It
Like
is,
that,
it is.
without that, you're not getting anywhere.
You can't. I feel like if you cut so much out, then you're gonna restrict yourself, and you're gonna hate your life,
Yeah.
and then you're gonna fall right back into your
Yeah,
old
yeah, yeah.
habits.
Yep.
So it's always good to have some sort of a balance.
Like for example, me, it's like I love sweet things and I need
Yeah.
something sweet after every meal. Like I need it. So what I'll do is like I'll have like a piece of a chocolate bar.
Yeah, exactly.
Like one piece. It's just like how you think about it. And like you can't think about it like, oh, I'm like trying to like stop myself from eating. It's just like,
Yeah.
oh, like I'll have the next piece when it's ready for me to have.
Exactly. I love
Shift
that.
your thinking of
Yeah, and it's hard because like we grow up in this like household where like it's always given to us, and like fitness is not talked about.
It's not.
It's not at all.
It's
It's
not.
not a thing
Never,
that
it
we.
was never brought
Yeah.
up.
Yeah,
it was so hard for me to decide to lose weight
yeah,
Yeah.
when we were in the townhouse because I didn't know how.
yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know where to begin.
Yeah.
I literally guessed and was like, you know what? I'm just gonna start by not eating like roti and java.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's just see what happens.
Yeah.
And then we had a treadmill that was collecting dust, and
Yeah.
I just started. I said I didn't even have weights. I didn't
Yeah.
have anything. I didn't have fitness clothes.
Yeah.
Nothing, because nobody talked about it. I never saw anybody that
Yeah.
we knew. I never saw family or friends going to a gym.
That's what I'm saying. Me too. Like it's such a taboo thing where like I have never seen in our family
Yeah.
someone who is like more muscular or has a certain look. It's like,
Yeah.
but that also motivates me to be that person.
Yeah,
To
Right.
do that. You know what I mean? You
I
might
love. I
like.
think when you have somebody in your family that kind of starts the trend,
Yeah.
then other people see it and they also get inspired.
Yeah.
Whether they want to say it or
Yeah,
not,
yeah, they won't say.
it really is inspirational because
Cousins ain't gonna say it.
Because I feel like even when my sister and I started our fitness journey, I think when people see that like, wow, like you guys have really lost weight and
Yeah.
like, you're looking so healthy and
Yeah.
stuff, then I think people are like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
And then when you tell them it's not like a fad diet,
Yeah.
you actually got to put in the work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But then there's also again there's a negative to that because then people are like, oh, like you're lost so much weight.
Yeah.
Now, you like I'm saying there's always a
You
constant
were
like
so fat before you fat.
it's always like, oh, you're fat before, now you're skinny.
Yeah.
You're skinny
Yeah.
before, now you're fat. Like what's the middle? Like where do I look the best to you? Because I'm pleasing you, right?
Because like one person will say you look good, the other one will say you look really sick.
Yeah.
Anymore. Remember we talked about that?
I always get that.
Yeah.
I still get it.
That's crazy.
It's like, oh, you have 3 kids. What are you doing? But you know, you kind of look really tired. You look really sick.
Sick.
Maybe you should, get back to eating a little bit more. And you're
Yeah.
kind of like, mind your own damn business.
Yeah. Focus on yourself, okay? Obviously, when you're looking at your phone, we know you got a segment.
Segment
got it.
coming up.
I got a segment lined
I'm
up.
peeping over. I'm preying the phone.
Praying.
So for this segment, I'm bringing it back, but we're gonna do a little bit of a competition
Ooh.
with my beautiful, lovely co-host Hina,
Oh, I didn't even
and
know I was in this.
our guest here, Taimour.
Why you gotta put me on the spot?
I will put you on the spot.
I know you do.
Co-host 1 to co-host 2.
Okay, let's do it.
Let's see.
As long as I win, that's all that matters.
All right, we are gonna do an episode of Are You Smarter Than a Toronto Youth?
Oh,
All right.
okay.
Not me.
Okay.
Let's go. Let's
So
go.
what's gonna happen is the traditional teacher style. If you know the answer, put up your hand.
Okay.
Okay. Do not yell out the answers,
I won't.
or the point will be removed.
Okay.
So
Okay.
you can get negative points.
Pressure's on.
Pressure's
sister.
on.
Pressure's on.
I love
Okay.
how my teacher side just comes out immediately.
Deep
Put up
breaths.
your hand. First person to put up their hand, I ask them if you know the
Okay.
answer, you say the answer.
Got it.
All right.
think you're
Question
gonna win.
number 1.
Let me win. Let me win.
What line divides the Earth around the middle?
Oh, she got that.
You got that one.
Equator.
Yeah, I already
It
knew
is.
that. Ah,
It's the equator.
it's okay.
All right. Question number 2. What is the longest river in the world?
Nile?
It is the
Yeah.
Nile River.
It was
Very
funny.
good. How many bones are there in the human body?
Oh, I know this. I'm pretty sure I know this. It's like a really random number.
I'm never gonna get that. Do I look like Einstein?
Okay, I don't know. I don't want to. That they're gonna make fun of me, but I'll just try.
Just try it.
Like 456.
Okay. Give me a number.
I'm gonna say 530.
Okay, it's 206.
Oh, okay. I see. It was between.
closer.
It was between 4. No, it's between 2, 4, and 7 for
You're
me.
telling me-
But I was like 700 bones is just crazy. Like,
I'm like,
It's all in the ears.
yeah. All right.
That was 0.
Okay.
All right.
Now I know.
Now you know.
236.
206. 206. It is a random number.
I knew it was a random number because I read it
have
before.
to be a random
Yeah.
number. That would be.
Okay. What do we call the person who is telling a story? Hina.
Author? Storyteller.
No.
Narrator. Yeah.
I knew something with an N. I was gonna
Very
say,
good.
first I was saying navigator. I'm like, yo, that's not.
Yo, Hina redeemed herself.
Redeem.
Redeem. How many weeks are there in a year?
Oh.
52.
Ooh.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
52 and 360.
I'm not for it.
We're gonna change it up a little bit, and these questions are a little bit pop culture.
Oh
Okay.
Lord. Okay.
I think I got.
I think you're good.
Yeah, I think you're good
Okay,
too.
okay.
You know your pop culture.
Okay, I hope I do.
Who is the actor that plays Ken in the blockbuster movie Barbie?
Brian Gosling.
That's good.
Thoughts on that movie, by the way?
It was all right.
It was alright. I liked her speech and stuff in it. I like the concept of it. I did get bored.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little.
Like I was a little over it. Near the end, I was like, I'm bored.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like it's
What'd
not
you
a
think?
it's not a movie theater movie for me.
Yeah, it was a bit. What did you think?
Like it was
Okay.
overall, it was okay. Like I liked the story and the acting and
Yeah.
the humor.
Okay.
It was a little too woke for me.
Yeah, I can see
Like
that.
it's just like I understand what they were trying to get at, but it was like an extreme.
Yeah, I felt like it was a bit much for me too.
Yeah.
But yeah,
What famous group sang the song "Say My Name"?
Destiny's Child.
Yeah. You gotta know that one.
By the way, you know people younger than me. I'm a 2000 baby. By the way,
Whoa.
young. I know. Go ahead.
Yeah.
But people younger than me don't even know like those old songs at all.
So you know them because of us.
Because of us, yeah.
I
it's
cannot
us, you.
believe they don't know the classics, but they know Beyonce.
Yeah.
I mean,
Beyonce,
you guys, where do you guys think Beyonce originated?
right?
Check it out. Destiny's Child was so amazing.
Bills. Say my name. Like, oh my God, there's so many.
My first ever CD,
Destiny's.
a real one, not a burn. Like we didn't. This was not a burn CD from my computer. It was a
Yeah.
real,
HMV.
real HMV CD
HMV.
was Destiny's Child.
Mine was NSYNC.
Ooh, and my first cassette was Backstreet Boys.
Mine was an iPhone 6.
Oh, okay. Okay, calm down.
The one our
okay?
mom still has. According to Instacart,
Okay.
what is the most disliked food in Canada? Gotta take a guess at this.
Brussels sprouts.
Close.
Shit.
That's not really close, but it was a good guess.
Mustard?
Anchovies.
Oh, yeah, I can see
Okay,
that.
I could see that happening.
I mean, it's gross.
Yeah, it is.
I've only had it in a salad, like Caesar.
Caesar,
salad,
right?
yeah.
Same.
But you can't eat it. I don't even know what it tastes like. I've never had it. Yeah.
So I had it on like, I think I wanted to like a flatbread or a pizza, and it was gross.
Ew, I
Is it
could never
fishy?
have pizza.
It's super fishy.
Ew, I don't like super fishy fish.
Yeah.
And it's like, it has a weird texture to it too. I don't know. I didn't like it. I don't know. Maybe they seasoned it weird, but.
I don't know.
What is the largest ocean on Earth?
Atlantic. Pacific.
Oh, yeah. She's gonna name all. Go. Name them all. Name them all. Oh, sorry.
Like Pacific Ocean, Atlantic Ocean, Mediterranean Sea.
What is the largest ocean mammal? That was a tie. I'm gonna go with the more.
Okay,
because you
okay,
answered
okay.
the last.
What's that whale? Blue whale?
Yeah, yeah.
I know it was a specific type of whale.
It is.
Also, the ocean is terrifying.
Oh my gosh.
Biggest fear. Biggest
that
fear.
biggest fear.
Oh, that TikTok sound?
No.
Oh,
I can't deal with that. I can't deal with that. Oh my god, it's so scary. Every time it comes out, I'm like, swipe out. I can't watch this. It gives me.
but you know what it is? Because I don't know if I'm sure a lot of South Asians have dealt with this lack of swimming skills.
Okay, listen. This is a brown thing. We don't know how to swim.
And we don't.
I know.
Collective
I'm not gonna lie, I know how to swim.
No.
I swear to God.
You're the unicorn.
No, my dad is he was a really strong swimmer.
No way.
And even his brothers, they're all very good swimmers.
I think just South Asian people are
but
just
a lot of people
scared of
don't.
water.
Yeah,
They're
yeah,
scared
yeah.
of.
I'm still scared
Anytime
of
I go on vacation, the beach, pani ke paas na ja.
Yeah, yeah.
What am I doing at the beach? Tell me.
You're to see, hello, hello, beach.
Even if I say, oh, I put my foot in the water. How deep? How deep? Yeah, you're going too far.
Do you have a fun water-related story? Share with us.
Oh, okay. So recently, like I don't know how to swim at all.
Okay.
Over the summer, my friends are pretty good swimmers, so
Yeah.
we like started renting this pool at this guy's
Yeah.
house. I don't even know what it is. It was like an indoor pool.
Yeah.
Okay.
And like I was slightly learning, and at this point, it was like the third time we went, and like
Yeah.
I could swim from end to end.
Okay.
Which is good, yeah. And
amazing.
I could swim. First, I started with shallow and end
Yeah,
to end.
yeah,
Then I got in the water. I could go end
Yeah.
to end. And then they're like, "Yo, let's just go end to end deep." So we
Yeah.
did it, and I did both over water and underwater.
Wow.
Then you're gonna kill me.
Oh God.
Listen up, my friends. I know you're watching this, okay? So we're at this pool, and there's a diving board.
No, you did it. Oh my God.
And they're like, yo, like, just, we got you, we're there. So they're all like collectively in a circle.
liars. Those liars.
They're in a circle around the diving
Give me the
area,
name of these
right?
friends.
They come here.
Oh.
So we're all in a circle, like they're in a circle at the diving board. I'm like, honestly, like about to shit my pants at the diving board because like, honestly, like, for those who don't know, I've also like bungee jumped. So like it was okay. Like
cannot.
I'm scared of heights, but like I did that, but this was more scary because like
No way.
I knew I was falling into something I don't know.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Like I don't know how to get out of it.
Yeah, yeah.
So I was like, yo, I'm just gonna do it. So I jumped in the deep end and I actually got up and I got to the end by myself. Yeah.
Why are you scaring us?
I know. So yeah, no, they didn't tell me.
Ooh.
Well, how high was the dive?
The diving board. Do you know?
It was like pretty high, but the pool was like 12 feet. Like it was deep.
The deep end.
Yeah.
Okay.
No,
What about you? Do you have a fun water
Okay,
story?
so like when I was taking swimming lessons, right? Because my dad was always like, "You guys have to learn how to swim."
I love that.
And so like I was taking swimming lessons at one point and I was like super confident. I'm like, I can do this. And they were teaching us how to like dive without a diving board, just like learning how to dive. And I remember I like dove into the deep end and I just panicked and I was just like, I'm drowning. And like the swimming instructor had to come and save me, but the water went up your nose.
Yeah.
It's the worst feeling ever. It's nasty, and I, honest to God, felt like I was gonna.
Yeah.
That's so scary.
It's
You know what it is with water? We have a fear of it.
We have
Yeah.
a fear of it.
I'm getting over that fear, which is
Yeah.
why when I did it, I was scared, but I was like, you need to just be calm. And my friends were there, so it was supportive. Like
Yeah.
they were like, just be calm, don't worry, like
Yeah.
you'll be fine, right?
Yeah.
And it is true. Like I can't float right now,
Yeah.
but I know how to like swim in water.
That's amazing.
I can't tread, but I can swim end to end.
No, but I
And
feel
it's a
like
fear thing.
It is a fear thing. I think more so for me, like even though I can swim, the fear for me is like going into an ocean
And something's dragging you.
and not knowing what's underneath.
Yeah, that's why I'm never. Oh, another actually funny story. We can add this too. So when I went to Dominican in the summer.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we went on this boat cruise, and like obviously it was like in the middle of the ocean, so like they were all jumping in the water, and like they had like a life jacket, but like in Dominican they're giving you like that one strap life jacket, okay? So I was like, I jumped in the deep end, like maybe I can do this. I jump off the boat and like I'm fine.
Yeah.
But like the life jacket was so bad that like the life jacket was coming off of me.
God.
It was still strapped to me, but like I was like holding on to the life
Oh my
jacket.
gosh.
And like,
Like
the
a raft.
Yeah.
Okay, that's so scary.
And then I started panicking because I'm in the ocean. Like I don't know what's under me.
I know.
I can't swim. So like I was like struggling to get back to the boat. And at that point I just gave up. I'm like, yo, I think you just need to calm down. Maybe,
I'm not taking
yeah.
you
Luckily, I made it back, but honestly, yeah, that I know that feeling.
It's so scary.
It's scary.
It's so scary. Like once there was like seaweed that got stuck on my leg and I thought it was a fish.
Yeah.
Okay? You don't know the way I panicked, girl. I'm fine in water, but I'm also like the ocean scares
Yeah.
me. So when I see that video on TikTok,
Yeah.
I'm just like, don't show me that.
Okay, would you rather travel to space or the ocean?
I don't know. I think I would rather. I don't even know because space scares me. So
No, I think space interests me more.
it's interesting,
Personally.
but I feel like maybe if I was in the ocean, I'd still be on Earth. Because like at space, it's like ain't nobody coming to save you. There's no lifeguard up there.
Yeah, but I feel like
Game over.
there's scarier things in the ocean.
There is like
There's
Fact
Sharks
check.
is nothing, girl.
Yeah.
Sharks is nothing. Sharks is something we've discovered.
no, honestly,
We haven't discovered.
Yeah, I was gonna say fact check is 95% of the ocean is
I know.
undiscovered.
I learned about that one.
Undiscovered.
I can't.
Crazy.
That's
I
insane.
swear there's mermaids down there.
Yeah,
There
no.
might be. There might be. I don't even know.
I have a fun water story.
Oh my god.
So Farhan and I, we don't know how to swim. My husband and I, we don't know how to swim. Like I actually
Y'all,
don't
one of
know.
y'all need to step up.
We need to learn.
Or it's your kids that are
Teach your
gonna
kids who are gonna save you.
Yeah, they're gonna save us, right? So we went to Singapore
Yeah.
for our honeymoon. We did like a South Asia trip or like an Asian trip. So we did Hong Kong, Singapore, and Bali. Great trip. So we went to Singapore and we wanted to do underwater sea walking. That's what that was the.
That
I
sounds
think you told me this.
So we went and so the reason why we were so attracted to this was because you didn't need to know how to swim.
Yeah.
You just
So
walk.
you just walk, right? So I was like, oh, hey, this kind of looks cool. Like, let's try it.
Yeah.
We paid for the excursion. They put the whole suit on us or whatever. We got on a boat. They drive us to the middle of the ocean.
my
Okay.
God, that's so scary.
And there's 3 people. One person comes down with you with like, what's the cameras underwater?
GoPro?
With a GoPro, and 2 people are on the boat at the top. Okay. So, and they put this helmet on you, and the helmet is like a space helmet. And what it essentially does, it does the fishbowl effect.
Yeah.
So the minute it's on you and you're underwater, your face is actually not wet.
Oh my god.
It stays
Yeah.
dry. But your senses are completely
Distorted.
Distorted. Okay?
Oh my gosh.
So they put the helmet on, he grabs us from the hips and he drags us all the way down to a shipwreck.
That is so
Okay, so it was a shipwreck. I don't know how long it's been down there.
Yeah.
You kind of get down there and they teach you the hand signals of like if you're actually panicking or whatever. And I started to give the hand signal that I was panicking because I just felt like I couldn't breathe and I was really starting to panic. And he just looked at me and he was like, calm down. And then he brings me all the way down to the shipwreck. And the thing is, it's like a 30-minute walk around the
Yeah.
shipwreck. So we slowly start to walk, and like Farhan is in front of me, and my helmet is like banging into his helmet.
Yeah, because you can't tell how
Because you
far someone
literally
is.
cannot
Yeah.
tell anything that's happening around you. Like, you're so out of, like, your senses are just
Yeah.
not.
And you're also so scared. You're like, yo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just
And the
terrifying.
shipwreck has like poles that you could hold on to while you're walking around, okay? So we walk around, we get halfway there, and before we had gotten into the ocean, they put bread inside of our sleeves.
Oh, okay.
And so what they want to do is when you get to a certain point in the shipwreck, you pull the bread out and it kind of like disperses and all these little fish come and they're like Nemos and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know what the actual fish is
yeah,
called.
yeah.
Clownfish.
Fish. So it's like all these like little like, and you feel them and they kind of like, you feel them pecking at your hands and like, you know, and all of that stuff. And then all of a sudden Farhan looks at me and like taps me on my space helmet and he's like, look there. And I look this way and it's pitch dark.
I would be like,
I
honestly,
was terrified.
Absolutely
not.
I'd faint.
I faint too.
There was no light that goes down there. There was nothing. It was so dark. And that, in that moment, I was like, this is the scariest thing I've ever done.
Oh my god, I can't handle that.
And then luckily he did it at the end and we were able to come back up. And it took so long for me to even get like an understanding of like being back on land with gravity.
Yeah.
Because you know how that is not happening.
Yeah.
And the pressure is
Yeah.
so much different.
And your ears are popping and you're like drenched and it
no,
was
that's
crazy.
scary.
Yeah.
Now I look back on it and I was like, I don't know why the hell we did that.
It's okay, you experienced it.
It was a great experience too.
Before kids.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Before kids,
Oh, Lord.
before kids. kids. That's what we did. I kind of wish I bungee jumped before kids because I don't know if
I don't think I could ever.
That
I
okay.
can't do
The
that.
thing is, I don't have a fear of heights.
I have such
a fear of
I'm
heights.
terrified.
See, I don't have a fear of like a roller coasters,
Yeah.
but I have a fear of being at a height for a long period of time.
Me too.
So I can do the highest
scared.
roller coaster in the world. That doesn't
I
matter.
could do roller coasters, but it scares
But it's like the fact that I'm standing here for like 5 seconds.
like something down.
Oh my god, no.
I can't.
Bungee jumping is crazy.
I can't do that stuff. Mm-mm. You do that. You
Yeah,
do it.
I don't know how. Even my friends that I went with, they're like, "How? I don't know how you did that," because they know I'm not one to do things like that.
God. I'm like,
But at that point, I'm like, I'm here one time. It was in Vancouver. I'm like,
Yeah.
yo, I'm
Gotta
gonna do it.
Gotta
Yeah.
do it. I think I'm gonna eventually do it too. I will.
oh my
But
god.
I'm not gonna lie. When I was at the edge, I kind of was like, I think I need to turn around.
Like, what's
It didn't hit me until I was there.
That's so.
And he literally was like, he's like, don't be scared. Like, I'm gonna say like 3, 2, 1. You're just gonna jump and not think. And he's like, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And I was just like, and I just literally jumped. It was crazy. But it was also the most thrilling experience I've ever
Was
done.
it?
Yeah.
Your sister did it.
They jumped out of an airplane.
Okay,
Dubai.
that no way.
Yeah.
What an
They
experience.
loved it. And
You didn't do
honestly,
it?
because I was pregnant, I couldn't do it. But like they all did it, and honestly, like they made videos and everything. Like there's someone that jumps with you, and
Yeah, they
put video.
record. Yeah.
And it was insane.
Wow.
It was insane. Like I saw their videos, and they were like, that was like the experience of a lifetime.
Wow. And they did it in Dubai?
They did it in
That's
Dubai,
alive.
That's
and they all did it on the
alive.
same day, and like it was just like it was magical. I think that's like top experience for them.
That's incredible.
It
I
is
would
incredible.
do it if I was like in Dubai.
I don't think I
stuff.
could
would
do it,
it.
girl. I'm too.
Yeah, I'm gonna take you.
Hell no.
Pokemon podcast recording
Nah, nah,
on
nah,
an
nah, nah,
airplane.
nah, nah, nah. You go. I got kids, okay?
I got kids too.
Clearly, you don't care.
Yeah. Honestly,
I'll
heights.
be here to watch over the. Oh my God,
Don't worry, I'll babysit.
it's scary. Like I understand. I feel like I could probably get peer pressured into it.
I would peer pressure you too.
I know you would. That's why I would never go with you.
It's the yes in us.
Yeah, it's
It's
yes
the
and us.
people
It's
pleasing.
yes
People
and us.
pleasing.
She's like, just do it. It would be great. It would be great. And I'd be like, okay, bye.
I guess whatever.
I'm like, once in a lifetime Hina experience. We
No,
gotta
like
go.
they fly you up on the airplane, and then it's like you ain't going back.
Yeah, you had that. You jump.
Yeah. Like I don't know what else to do.
All right, I got 2 more questions.
Okay.
What is the angle that is greater than a 90 degree? Yeah.
Obtuse.
Yeah.
I would never have gone that.
You know what's the one that's smaller than a 90 degree?
Acute.
Yeah.
You don't remember that?
Do you know how badly I suck at math? I barely
Same.
passed grade 10 math.
Another math story I have. Oh my god.
If you give me a math question, I'm gonna punch you. Okay.
Grade 10 math. She doesn't know this, but I literally had a 40. I had a 41 in the course.
Yo, I had like 48%.
No,
I had a 48
I had
too.
I had like a 40. Yeah, 48, 49.
No, like seriously.
No, and I failed the final exam 30% with a 41, and I got a 50.
What?
She passed me.
I didn't even get the 50. I had to go to summer school to upgrade.
No, I got a 48 and then I went back to my principal who I cried to and he gave me a 50 and then I had to take summer school and that's why I didn't get into university in the beginning.
Mine is even worse.
Then I took summer school,
knew-
then I did well and then I got in.
I knew I sucked at math, and then one of my cousins, who's like, she's like a freaking, she's actually a genius. Like she's a genius at math. She was like, "Let me tutor you for your final exam." Freaking came to my house, slept over for 2 days, and tutored my ass. I still failed the freaking.
Yeah. I took.
She was like,
my parents paid me to a tutor.
I remember I used to go for that tutoring stuff.
Well, I used to sit there. I was like, okay, I don't know.
I just thought math was
We never did Kumon. Did you?
Come on, but it's a big thing.
It's a big thing, especially with South Asian kids.
Yeah. Have you seen that girl Divi?
Yeah. With our kids?
Yeah. And her
Yo, honestly,
freaking
she's the best. She's the best.
makes me go to Kumon every day.
Last question. How many Canadian provinces are there?
Oh, shit. Are we including the territories?
No, provinces.
12?
No.
10.
Yes!
Oh. Is it 12 with territories?
I think so. I just know the
I think it would be, yeah.
I think it's
Because
12 with...
Nunavut and then
Northwest Territories.
Northwest.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe that's
that
what
makes
it's...
sense.
Make sure you don't color the map blue. Yo, do you remember that?
real.
Yo, nah.
Was it Nunavut or no? It's like
No, you ever colored it in blue and you got in trouble because only the land
yeah.
land
I
cannot
did.
be blue. Yeah.
I did.
Can I be honest? We still do that as teachers.
Yeah.
Yep.
But makes sense. Like,
You gotta make them color the map. And if they
And then
color
sometimes
the
I'll-
land blue, you
yeah,
get...
but then sometimes it was like, I got the Crayola light blue and then I got the dark blue. So can I do the light blue on the? Because I was like, I
always
want to
say
use all
no.
the different colors.
I still say no.
I know.
And when I have the rubric, it says ocean is blue. Land is
way.
colors. Yeah, and they have to check mark it. And if they ever ask me, I'm like, did you check the rubric?
And they're like, yes, but you said blue, but like this is like
Like,
turquoise.
see, that's what this generation is.
That's what this generation is. Even to come and ask me if you could use blue when you didn't read the rubric. You think we could do that?
I did do that.
You know, for shame.
Sorry.
For shame.
Shame.
Okay, guys, that is the end of our episode. We would like to really thank Taimour for coming on.
Thank you
so
for
much.
having
So
me.
fun.
It was so
No,
fun.
honestly, yeah.
Guest.
If you guys have any questions or comments, leave them under our videos. If you want Taimour to come back for a part 2 and you have any questions that you'd like to ask him, let us know because we love the engagement that we get from our audience members.
It's the best. I'm part of those.
Yeah, we're
Those
gonna,
comments,
We love it. We love it.
those shares, I'm sending it to all the group chats.
we're gonna share his social handles at the bottom so you guys
Yes.
give him a quick follow as well. He shares some awesome content. And obviously, like, subscribe. All our links are
Hit
right
that
here.
follow button.
Hit that follow button. That's right. Hit that follow button, and we will see you guys next time.
See you guys.
Bye, guys.